Right, this morning and this evening we're going to finish this morning's message. This evening we have another 4, 5, 6 points about descriptions of salvation, words that the Bible uses. And these are not always words that a person would use, but they are words of the Bible. And sometimes as you read through the Bible, you're wondering what those words mean. And the first word is the word substitution. That's actually a word that's not found in the Bible. So it's the one word that is implied, and we will see that the Bible teaches that Christ was our substitute, and yet it is not a Bible word. The other words are, we have a propitiation. Now that's a word I'm sure you haven't used. Regeneration and conversion. And so those are some words that the Bible uses, and tonight, as I said, tonight we will cover some others. And but tonight, the description this morning, descriptions of salvation. First of all, substitution. And by substitution means substituted for us. In our stead. That's a Bible description. In our stead. Instead of us. Christ died instead of us. And 1 Peter 3, verse 18 says, Christ also hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust. Jesus Christ died for me. Me, unjust, me. An innocent person died for me. Somebody loved me enough to give his life for me. That was the Lord Jesus Christ. The same is true. The same is true for you. 2 Corinthians, in your notes there, 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 21, He hath made him. And the two he's there is God and Jesus. God hath made Jesus to be sin for us, who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him. God made Jesus to be sin for us in our place, our substitute. Jesus Christ died for us. The Bible says, who knew no sin. And there you have the innocent one. Jesus Christ was innocent. He knew no sin. He did no sin. In him is no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him. And this idea of substitution, as I said, is not a Bible word. You do not find in the Bible where it says Christ is our substitute. But the concept is taught, and it's illustrated in the book of Genesis, chapter 22. Abraham was to take Isaac up to be offered. I remember in my youth, I was raised in a Catholic church. And I went to their school, two years to private school, and then my brothers and sisters, they went all the way up to high school there. But we took religious class and went to church every Sunday. And the one Bible story I remember, there wasn't many Bible stories I remember. The one I remember was Abraham taking a knife and going to kill his son Isaac, and an angel saying, stop. Now, I don't remember where I heard that story or saw a picture of it, perhaps in church somewhere. Or, I don't remember, but that is the one account that I do remember it. I never did quite understand what that was all about. Here's a man going to kill his son, and an angel says, stop, stop. And he stopped, and that was what I remember the story. Okay, that's what I remember. Now, I'll tell you what happened. Now that I'm a Baptist preacher, I can expound on that a little more, okay? And Abraham took Isaac, his son, his only son. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Abraham took Isaac to Mount Moriah. Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God, was offered on Mount Calvary, the same mountain. It's the same mountain, different names. It was on the third day when Abraham took Isaac up there and his son was received back. It was on the third day that Jesus Christ rose from the dead. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 17 tells us that this is a picture. And so this is not something I'm making up to correlate the two. The Bible tells us this is a picture of how Jesus Christ was offered up And so Abraham took Isaac up there, and Isaac says, "Father, the wood and the sacrifice and the altar, where is the sacrifice?" And that's where in Genesis 22, verse 8, Abraham says, "My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering." They went both of them together. And Abraham said, "Isaac, God is going to provide something here." He didn't know what, but he was willing to take his son up there. And then in verse number 15, we see where Abraham lifts up his eyes and looks, and behold, a ram caught in the thicket by the horns. And Abraham went and took that ram and offered the ram up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. And that, my friend, is what Jesus Christ did for me. Jesus Christ offered himself up in the stead of me. And he did that for you. Substitution. Christ dying the just for the unjust.